I'm working on this wheel horse, 552. That's a 1962 model with a Tecumseh. Originally was a 5.5 horse, but they became 6 horses shortly after that. So this is a 6-horse Tecumseh engine. Well, it's a nice cast iron block. That's why I decided to fix this one up. You can see this one used to be a hydraulic lift version, and that's why this box is off to the side to relocate the switches, because the pump went right in the middle there. So some pieces are missing on that. I think I have enough pieces to reconstruct it. So the original Tecumseh carburetor was not any good. And you can get these nice Kohler, I think they're imports now, for a pretty good price. So it bolts right up there, except for it's a little bit longer. So here's the original carburetor, which is not any good anymore. But you can see this Kohler carburetor is about 5/8 longer, so it moves the air cleaner out towards the hood. And they didn't have that much clearance on these to begin with. The first thing I did was rotate the air cleaner so that it was up a little bit higher. There's plenty of room up in there. The hood's tapered, so as you raise it up, it improves the clearance problem. So in 1962, the front hood mount looked like this, except for this one's been torn off and brazed back on. But it was a little bit thicker piece, just bent on an angle. And this is the original piece. It stops about here. It does not wrap down on either side. And as you notice, it's offset away from this lip a little bit right here. So in '63, they changed that. Now, this is actually a '64 hood, but this piece down at the bottom is the same, and this one's in good shape, so I was using it to look at. Now you can see they made it out of a little bit thinner piece, but they made it wrap around this hood so it had less of a tendency to tear out. And they also, if you notice, the tab is pretty much behind this surface right here, where on this other one the tab is located out front a little bit. So when they did that, that moved the hood forward a little bit on the bottom. So that gave them just a little bit more room in front of the engine when they did that. So I'm going to cut this thing off because this is not mounted well. It's on an angle. You can see all the brazing on it. So I'm going to cut all this stuff around here and put new metal in it. And then I'm going to make a piece like this. I'm going to weld it on the outside so it looks similar to this. I'm going to cheat a little bit and mount it forward slightly so that my mounting tab is pretty much in line with the edge of the hood. So it won't be back as far as the new style, but it won't be forward like the old style. So it's going to look like this one, and it's going to give me a little bit more clearance around the front for that air cleaner. Notice one spot on the end that got a little bit off location and melted through the thin metal there. So I'm not going to try to fix that one. I'll just make sure I don't do that anymore. Well, it sits on there nicely. And even though this is not as far back as the 63 hood, it's still too far back here. The hood doesn't flex that much. So I think what I'm going to do is put a piece of 1/4 inch stock in front there, because the hood does flex out that much pretty easily. It doesn't put that much tension on it. So I'm going to cut off the nut that I welded on there. I'm going to put this piece of 1/4 inch stock on the front, and I'll use it for the threaded hole. That looks pretty good. I got the 2 bolts holding the rear of the hood in place, and this flexes forward to where that stops pretty easily. I think that'll do it. And I do have a 1/4 inch clearance to the air cleaner, which was the whole point of this. Now that the air cleaner is upside down, that fits pretty well. So when I started this project, what I had to work with was this piece that was brazed on there, and it was crooked. And at the time, this hood would not fit on the tractor without interfering with the air cleaner, even when I had it upside down. But after trying this, I found out the hood doesn't flex as much as I expected it might. So I ended up coming back to nearly the original mounting position. So then I wanted to find out for sure if an original style hood mount would work or not. So I went and grabbed the hood off of my next project, which happened to be a 62. And I went ahead and made the piece that I'm going to repair that hood with. So this was all cut out and it was mounted with a hinge. This piece was totally missing. So the best I can do is reconstruct that and put it in the same position as this one that came off of 62. So this original piece was flush right here with the hood, so I made a new piece with the offset being the same from this face out. I added these wings on the side because that was the weak point of the original design. So this hood has the tab in the proper location for a 62. What's happening, buddy? And I'm going to try it on that tractor and see if it interferes with the air cleaner. Alright, there it is mounted on there, and it looks like it clears pretty well. So I'm still going to use the other hood. It was just an experiment. It turns out it was unnecessary. So there you go. If you want to put a Kohler carburetor in there, you just turn the air cleaner upside down. And that gives you enough hood clearance. Now if the front of your hood's dented in a little bit, that might be a problem. Alright, that's not all. I'll have another video coming out on this. There's one more thing I gotta do. That's it.